Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, today we're gonna really unpack something huge, a monumental challenge. It's something that's quite literally shaping the very foundation of our world. We're talking about the severe and pretty persistent shortage of skilled labor in construction.
Yeah,
And this isn't just like a temporary hiccup. It's urgent, it's pervasive. It kind of infiltrates every single aspect of building.
it really does. From the first sketch right through to the final touches.
Exactly, from concept to completion.
Mm.
And it's an issue that's going to define the future of, well, our built environment. And frankly, our ability to meet tomorrow's demands. We need to unpack this critical situation, figure out what it means for all of us, for you listening.
And what's truly fascinating, I think, is just how deep this goes. Like you said, not surface level. It's woven into planning, design, project execution, even long-term maintenance. It's systemic.
Systemic, yeah, that's the word.
And that directly hits our ability to innovate. New materials, new methods, it slows things down. It impacts how we grow our cities, our infrastructure,
Sustainably.
right?
Right.
And ultimately delivering on, well, the promise of progress. It's happening everywhere globally, and it really demands we rethink how we approach work, training, talent, the whole sector.
Right. And that's exactly our mission for you, our listener, today. In this deep dive, we're going to journey through the, let's say, complex root causes of this labor crisis. Then we'll pivot. We'll look at the innovative solutions people are developing. We'll delve into the transformative role technology is playing, because it is playing a massive role. And crucially, we have to confront the need for a profound cultural shift within the industry itself. We've gathered insights from a whole range of sources you've provided. Our goal, distill those key nuggets of knowledge, help us understand not just what's happening, but maybe what must happen next, to build a better tomorrow, starting today. So let's get started.
The shrinking workforce, unpacking the root causes of the labor shortage.
All right. So to really get a handle on this challenge, we have to start with the foundational shifts driving it. And one of the biggest, most immediate factors is, well, just demographics. Simple as that sometimes.
Yeah, the numbers.
The numbers. We're seeing this massive wave of baby boomers retiring, and they are leaving behind this enormous void, huge gap in experienced, skilled workers.
It's a cliff, really.
It is. And okay, this isn't unique just to construction. We see it elsewhere. But the impact here feels amplified, doesn't it?
Definitely amplified because of the specialized skills.
Yeah.
Decades of hands-on knowledge, problem solving honed over countless projects. That institutional memory, it's almost impossible to just replicate quickly.
You can't just download it.
Exactly. It's more than just losing headcount. It's like a generational brain drain happening on job sites everywhere. It's stripping the industry of invaluable expertise right when we probably need it most.
So that's the immediate crisis, this demographic cliff, as you put it, experience just walking out the door.
But if you look broader, historically, it gets clearer that this issue has deeper roots, Today's challenge is really made worse by a long-term decline, I think, in vocational education within schools. That's played a huge systemic role over decades.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, if you look back, you had these highly skilled guilds of craftsmen. They were the absolute bedrock of building for centuries. Yeah. But Viollet-le-Duc, he observed in his lectures that architecture at some point kind of fell into the hands of laymen.
Yeah.
He noted these guilds maybe trying to protect their knowledge, their mastery. They actually made it harder to get in.
Oh, interesting. So they gatekept.
Kind of. And ironically, that might have limited the pipeline of new talent, maybe contributing to their own decline later on. And then, fast forward a bit, the 16th century. Jean Gimpel observed that fewer and fewer workmen were joining the lodges. This was as builders became more like contractors for Renaissance architects, rather than master builders themselves.
A shift away from the old traditions.
Exactly, a separation. Where the master builder was involved in design and construction, this historical context shows that the erosion of skilled trades isn't brand new. It's kind of a recurring thing. It makes you ask, what skills, what sense of purpose got lost or just became less appealing as society changed. Yeah. This separation of design from the hands-on work, the diminishing appeal, it laid some problematic groundwork that we're still, frankly, dealing with today.
That historical parallel is fascinating. It really highlights how deep-rooted some of this is. And bringing it right up to today, we've definitely seen this pervasive societal push towards four-year college degrees. Often, at the expense of promoting the trades, actively supporting them.
College for everyone became the mantra.
It did. And that created this huge perception gap. Careers in skilled trades are sometimes seen as like a fallback, less prestigious, not a first choice.
When they can be incredibly high-demand, lucrative paths.
Absolutely. But the narrative steers young people away, paints the trades as less intellectually stimulating, maybe less financially rewarding. Often that's just not true. We're basically telling a whole generation that hands-on work is somehow less valuable than sitting at a desk, and construction is paying the price for that message.
That makes perfect sense. And, building on that perception idea, another critical piece, often overlooked, I think, touches on practical accessibility. Societal barriers. It's not just who wants the job, but who can physically get to it or who feels welcome in it.
Okay, like logistical hurdles.
Exactly. And more. There's this excerpt you shared from Rainer Banham's Critic Writes. It's about Watts, 1960s LA transportation. But it works as this really powerful metaphor for today. Banham describes this daily lady from Watts getting assaulted at 4 a.m. at bus stop, just trying to get to her job. He highlights this vicious circle of frustrations, no convenient transport, no affordable cars to reach better jobs.
Yeah, that's grim, but I see the connection.
Yeah, it's historical specific, but it illustrates these systemic hurdles people face just accessing opportunity. It's not enough to say, hey, jobs are open if the path is blocked.
Right.
So in today's construction world, this could mean diverse groups, women, underrepresented minorities, maybe people in rural spots facing big barriers, lack of reliable public transport to job sites that move around, no affordable childcare, implicit biases in hiring, unwelcoming site cultures.
I think all the above.
It's about more than openings. It's about equitable, safe, viable pathways to those jobs for everyone. We have to address that whole socioeconomic landscape that either helps or hinders people getting in. Without tackling access, just trying to recruit more people, it's going to fall short.
So just to reiterate that point, because it's crucial, it's not just the number of hands we need. Critically, it's making sure those hands have a clear, supported path to the job site. And this historical devaluation where mastery got separated from doing, it echoes today, doesn't it, in this societal disconnect. Like Carl Sagan noted, we live in a society exquisitely dependent on science and technology, in which hardly anyone knows anything about science and technology. Applied here, it means we often fail to see the sheer sophistication, scientific, engineering, technological, and modern trades.
Right.
We're using advanced materials, complex digital tools, solving intricate problems daily. But the perception lags way behind, still got that outdated image.
That's such a crucial point. If you take Sagan's observation, the building crafts, yeah, they're ancient, but now deeply integrated with cutting-edge tech. A modern craftsperson is as much a technologist as they are a traditional artisan.
That's a great way to put it.
We're not just swinging hammers. We're operating laser levels, maybe programming robots, definitely interpreting complex digital models, working with advanced composites. Shifting perception means highlighting the intellectual rigor, the problem solving, the tech fluency needed now. It's about celebrating the modern builder as an innovator, a highly skilled pro, breaking down those old stereotypes that, frankly, turn people off.
Building the bench, attracting and training a new generation.
Okay, so if we've got a clearer picture of these roots, the demographics, the vocational decline, the systemic barriers, how do we pivot? How do we proactively cultivate a new workforce? The focus has to be on attracting a fresh, more diverse generation, explicitly including more women, more underrepresented minorities who haven't always been, well, a big part of this industry. Beyond just filling slots, what are the broader benefits of really pushing for that diversification?
Oh, the benefits are huge, far beyond just numbers. It injects new perspectives, right? It fosters innovation, creates more resilient teams. Diverse teams are just proven to be more adaptable, better at problem solving, which is exactly what a fast-changing industry like construction needs.
Makes sense.
So when it comes to attracting these individuals, we need to tap into their core motivations. Peter Drucker, he gives us such a valuable insight here. He highlights that work is an extension of personality. It is achievement, one of the ways a person defines himself or herself, measures his worth, his humanity.
Wow. That's powerful. Work as self-definition.
Exactly. So to really attract and keep new generations, we have to offer not just jobs, but fulfilling careers. Careers that give that deep sense of achievement, of self-worth. It means actively showcasing the value, the impact of building, the satisfaction of creating something lasting.
Seeing it stand there.
Yeah. The intellectual challenge of solving complex puzzles. the legacy you leave in shaping communities, the real pride in contributing to something bigger. It's selling a career defined by purpose and impact, not just a paycheck. How do we actually get that message across effectively?
Well, that's where these innovative training programs and apprenticeships come in.
Right.
We're seeing unions, trade associations, individual companies really stepping up, reimagining how they train people. It's not just the old model anymore. There's a real evolution happening. Can you give us a sense of what makes these new programs genuinely innovative? How are they trying to appeal to that wider demographic we need?
Absolutely. The innovation often lies in blending the best of traditional hands-on learning with cutting-edge methods and tech. For instance, lots of programs now use VR and AR simulations, let apprentices practice complex stuff, welding, operating heavy machinery safely digitally before they even step on a live site.
Less risk, faster learning curves.
Exactly, and it appeals directly to a generation comfortable with digital tools, with interactive experiences. We're seeing pre-apprenticeship programs in high schools, outreach to community groups, partnerships with colleges, building clearer pipelines.
Okay.
Another key piece is addressing what the World Bank called analog complements. That's from their report cited in Designing Reality. These are the essential human and systemic things that let technology actually work well.
Like the roads for the fast car you mentioned earlier.
Precisely. So in training, it means ensuring programs aren't just teaching the tech, but also adapting workers' skills for the new economy. Traditional apprenticeships, they're evolving, incorporating modern tools, modern methods, ensuring new talent learns classic trades, carpentry, masonry, but also cutting-edge practices.
Like what specifically?
Like BIM software operation, drone piloting for site surveys, operating automated fabrication gear. It's creating this blend of time-honored craft and digital prowess, equipping people for the job site of today and tomorrow.
That blend sounds absolutely crucial, especially for making these careers genuinely appealing to, you, the tech-savvy learner who might be listening. So beyond the tech itself, what other key elements do these programs need to really succeed? Foster that Drucker sense of purpose? Make the trades an exciting first choice? It's got to be more than just the tools, right?
Oh, absolutely. More than tools. To really capture a new generation, these programs need to show clear career pathways. How does an entry-level spot lead to project management or specialized tech roles or even starting your own business?
Seeing the ladder.
Seeing the ladder,
Yeah.
Transparency about pay, benefits, job security, that's vital too. And critically, successful programs prioritize mentorship, pairing new folks with seasoned pros who can guide them, share that invaluable tacit knowledge, help navigate the culture.
Someone to show you the ropes.
Exactly. Plus, a strong emphasis on continuous learning, upskilling. Construction isn't static. New materials, methods, tech pop up constantly. Programs offering ongoing professional development, certs in new tech, chances to diversify skills that empowers workers to stay relevant, grow their careers.
Lifelong learning, basically.
It has to be.
Yeah.
And finally, maybe most importantly, creating a truly inclusive, supportive learning environment. One that actively fights those biases we talked about, that's paramount. Building a sense of community, ensuring everyone feels valued, respected, sees a future for themselves. This whole package, that's what turns a job into a fulfilling career.
The digital revolution on the job site, technology's transformative role.
Okay, this is where, for me, it gets really interesting because technology isn't just, helping out with labor anymore. It's fundamentally changing the nature of the work itself in construction. And that, in turn, is making the trades way more appealing to a generation that grew up with screens, instant info, digital tools. We're seeing a real paradigm shift. The job site's becoming a high-tech hub.
Indeed. And what's fascinating here is how building information modeling BIM is really at the forefront of that shift. It's fundamentally redefining what it means to be a skilled craftsperson today. The BIM handbook explains it perfectly. BIM is revolutionary because it's replacing drawings with 3D virtual building models.
Not just digital blueprints.
No, much more. It's not just an upgrade from paper. It fundamentally transforms how designs are generated, refined, evaluated. Turns a 2D world into this multi-dimensional collaborative ecosystem. The core insight here, driven by BIM, is that the construction site is morphing from maybe a place of just brute labor to a sophisticated digital environment.
Right.
And this isn't just about faster projects, though that's part of it. It's about shifting human expertise towards oversight, data analysis, complex problem solving, higher level tasks.
Okay, so break that down. How does BIM specifically change things for the worker?
All right, let's look at project efficiency and workflow. The handbook says BIM significantly reduces the time required to generate shop drawings and material takeoffs. I think what that means day to day. Fewer hours on tedious, repetitive drafting frees up people to focus on more complex, value-added problem solving.
More brain, less repetitive strain.
You got it. And that efficiency helps with late design changes too. Used to be a nightmare, right? Cause delays, cost overruns. With BIM platforms, changes get entered into the model, and updated drawings are produced almost automatically. Huge reduction in friction. Projects can adapt without grinding to a halt.
That adaptability is key. What about collaboration?
Big impact there. Collaboration and information flow. The ability to share info seamlessly between different BIM platforms used by designers, GCs, subs, fabricators. That's called essential. We're moving away from siloed information. It demands new collaborative skills, fosters integrated teams, not disconnected specialists. Everyone works from a shared, evolving digital truth, cuts down errors, improves coordination massively.
One source of truth.
Exactly. Then you have information visualization and planning. A 3D model is a very effective platform for entering and visualizing management information, especially for people on site. You hear about 4D CAD? That's linking the 3D model to the project schedule. Lets teams visualize the entire construction process unfolding over time, step by step.
See it before you build it.
Precisely. The handbook gives us a great example. Using 4D to plan the erection sequence for steel and precast concrete for a subway station roof in London. They had a strict 48-hour time limit. Careful planning was crucial.
At high stakes.
Very. And the CMAA standards encourage using 4D models too, tying schedules to the BIM. This demands a workforce skilled in digital planning, simulation. Workers aren't just reading static plans, they're interacting with dynamic, time-sequenced virtual models, solving problems before physical work starts.
Proactive, not reactive.
And finally, on-site application. CMAA recommends an available on-site model and a designated BIM integrator to monitor and update it during construction, plus a virtual plan room. This means new roles, new responsibilities on site, digital literacy needed right at the point of construction, clipboards and paper plans being replaced by tablets, real-time digital updates, transforming daily tasks into something more dynamic, data-driven.
So it sounds like it's not just about workers using tech better, it's also the industry designing for technology from the get-go.
Precisely. The way we conceive and plan buildings is changing to leverage this stuff, which reshapes the human roles.
And that thinking isn't entirely new, is it?
Not at all. Frank Lloyd Wright, way back in 1932, he had this vision. I should have to design buildings that they would not only be appropriate to materials, but design them so the machine that would have to make them could make them surpassingly well.
Wow. Thinking about machine production even then.
Yeah. Foresight, right? Speaks directly to robotics, automated fabrication and construction today. We're not just automating old tasks, we're designing components for machines to make, which shifts human roles towards oversight, programming, QC, specialized assembly, elevates the human input.
More strategic tasks.
Exactly. And this connects strongly to digital fabrication.
Yeah.
Remember, Designing Reality discusses MIT's Fab Lab program, enables people to locally design and produce solutions to local problems. Neil Gershenfeld notes these Fab Labs exploded around the globe, democratizes manufacturing, requires a skilled local workforce to operate, innovate with these tools.
Like those Norwegian shepherds you mentioned.
Perfect example, using RFID tags to track sheep, not replacing the shepherd, but empowering them, blending ancient practice with new tech to solve a real local problem. Tangible applications changing what it means to build and innovate.
That's powerful. Local innovation. And bring us back to that World Bank idea of analog complements from designing reality. Strengthening regulations, adapting skills, ensuring institutions are accountable. Because the tech, no matter how amazing, needs that human and systemic support to actually work, right? Like the car needing roads and mechanics.
That analogy nails it. Those analog complements are essential in construction. Cutting-edge training, safety rules that keep pace, institutions responsive to industry needs, not just having shiny tools sitting idle. And this highlights a critical challenge we have to admit. Even advanced tech, like laser scanning for VIM models, super accurate for irregular geometry. But the handbook still calls it extremely labor-intensive when you manually create the 2D profiles and 3D models from that data.
So the human element is still crucial, bridging the gap.
Absolutely crucial. The skill, judgment, effort to turn vast digital data into practical application. It's not total replacement, it's transformation. Needs new, sophisticated digital artistry. Similarly, think about SIP structural insulated panels. Fundamentals of residential construction notes they're faster to erect, save most of the site labor. But electricians still need to run wires through those chases in the panels.
Still need the skilled trades on site.
You still need skilled electricians, navigating physical complexities, adapting methods. So it's not automation eliminating skilled hands entirely. It's balancing automation with human expertise, creating new hybrid roles needing digital fluency in traditional craft, enhancing the human element, not just replacing it.
Beyond the tools, cultivating a new culture for the workforce.
Okay, this leads us to a really vital point, I think. Ultimately, tech alone, not enough.
Yeah.
Not going to solve the labor crisis or build that better workforce on its own. Our deep dive today really stresses the need for a profound cultural shift within the industry, creating more respectful, inclusive, safer workplaces. What does that actually mean practically, cultivating this new culture?
It means, first off, recognizing the deeply human, the psychological side of work. Peter Drucker, again, so insightful here. He reminds us work is both a burden and a need, both a curse and a blessing. He goes on, unemployment causes severe psychological disturbances, primarily because it undermines self-respect. Think about that.
Undermines self-respect. Yeah.
Work is an extension of personality. It is achievement. How a person defines himself or herself measures his worth, his humanity. So to attract, keep, truly empower talent, the industry has to fundamentally nurture that sense of self-respect, dignity, achievement for every single worker.
Human management, not just task management.
Exactly. Drucker even says, what is good industrial engineering for work is exceedingly poor human engineering for the worker. That calls for a culture moving beyond just efficiency metrics, prioritizing the worker's experience, their well-being. It means psychological safety is as important as physical safety. Workers feeling they can speak up, contribute ideas, know they're genuinely valued, building belonging, purpose, value into the everyday.
So humanizing the job site, making people feel valued, respected, safe, which then leads to loyalty, commitment, right? What are some concrete ways this cultural shift actually shows up on a construction site?
Well, it's multifaceted, practically. Clear anti-harassment policies actually enforced, promoting diverse leadership, not just entry-level diversity, investing in mentorship that supports everyone, especially women, minorities, fair pay, good benefits, maybe flexible scheduling where possible, acknowledging people have lives outside work.
Basic respect, really.
It should be basic, yeah. And beyond physical safety, psychological safety. Cultivating an environment where workers feel okay voicing concerns, suggesting improvements, even challenging norms without fear of backlash, that open communication builds trust, sparks innovation.
And that ties into adapting, innovating too, doesn't it?
Absolutely, hand in hand, fostering an adaptive, innovative mindset across the board. Historically, how buildings learn points out, adaptation is anathema to architects and most building professions. This resistance to change, maybe from respect for tradition or fear of messing up, it can be a huge cultural barrier now.
Stuck in the old ways.
But Drucker warns us again. An established company which in an age demanding innovation is not capable of innovation is doomed. Construction facing huge tech shifts, labor shortages. It must embrace critical thinking, question assumptions, consider different viewpoints. The PMBOK guide contrasts predictive approaches, good for well-understood stuff, with adaptive approaches needed for high degree of innovation or uncertain, volatile, complex situations.
Which sounds like a lot of modern construction projects.
Exactly, especially with new tech, tough urban sites. We need a flexible, resilient workforce ready for that adaptive world, ready for constant learning, adjusting, innovating, not just executing rote tasks.
So what does this all mean, the bottom line? This cultural shift isn't just, nice to have. It's not just about optics. It sounds like fundamental survival. Thriving in a complex world, foundational to future success, attracting that talent we desperately need.
Absolutely. It's foundational. The construction labor shortage isn't simple. It's not isolated. It's what Donella Meadows, in Thinking in Systems, calls an intrinsically systems problem, like unemployment itself. These problems, she says, will yield only as we reclaim our intuition, stop casting blame, see the system as the source of its own problems, and find the courage and wisdom to restructure it.
Okay, let's break that down. Reclaim intuition. Stop casting blame.
Reclaiming intuition means really listening to people in the trades, understanding their needs, their experiences. Stopping casting blame means moving past pointing fingers at young people, at schools, whatever, and instead seeing the system as the source of its own problems. That requires honest self-assessment. What industry practices might actually be deterring talent?
Taking responsibility.
Yes. And finally, finding the courage and wisdom to restructure it. Being willing to fundamentally rethink recruitment, training, leadership, daily operations, the whole ecosystem. It's not patching leaks, it's redesigning the whole ship to navigate the future, addressing education, perceptions, tech integration, workplace culture, all together, holistically.
We have truly taken a deep dive today, haven't we? Into the future of the construction workforce. We've explored those complex roots of the labor shortage, historical, societal. We looked at how innovative training and a real focus on diversity are essential. And we marveled, really, at the power of tech like BIM, digital fabrication, reshaping what skilled trade even means. But maybe most importantly, we confronted that crucial need for a profound cultural shift, one valuing human dignity, embracing innovation, thinking systemically about the huge challenges ahead.
And the core argument, I think, remains crystal clear. Investing in people is, without question, the most important best practice there is.
Yeah.
Full stop. The future of construction isn't just about what amazing things we build. It's fundamentally about who builds it and how we empower them, uplift them in that process. That investment in human capital, their skills, their well-being, their purpose, that determines the quality, the sustainability of our built world for generations. It's the ultimate foundation. Everything else rests on it.
If our buildings are, like Viollet-le-Duc said, reflections of our social element, its changes, modifications, then consider this for a moment. If the city of tomorrow, as Roddy and Claudel suggest, is this convergence of bits and atoms optimized with humanization, what will our workforce look like when it truly reflects and builds that kind of future?
Yeah.
What new forms of craftsmanship emerge when we're building for a digital, adaptive, human-centric world, moving beyond just analog complements to fully integrating people and technology? What does that future look like to you?